The Galaxy Z Flip 7 is still not for me, but it is for you. Let's go. Let me clarify something in that opener. Whilst it's not for me, this is Samsung's best attempt at a flip yet. It ticks every single box that you could want from an advanced flip phone from 2025. Everything it has, it just makes the most sense. It recreates the flip experience in the modern day, the best of any flip phone that's out there. And even though it's not for me, it's the first flip phone that I think is actually designed for the mass market. In the past, flips have kind of been that niche offering. I have all the flips sitting in my desk at the moment, all the previous ones, and there's just something novelty about all of them that means that, yeah, they're a great niche offering, and if you're into fun and expressive phones, you can pick one up. But there's always been sacrifices to the experience that mean it's just not ready for mass market adoption yet. And it's a point that I've made in my previous flip reviews that don't flip unless you're willing to. Whereas I feel like this year, I don't have to say that anymore. You can flip. Samsung have dealt with all the issues. They've dealt with the performance, they've dealt with the form factor. A lot of the stuff that people had issues with, Samsung have corrected it. Whilst Samsung have corrected it, I still haven't found myself using it. But don't click off at the review, because whilst I haven't used it myself, I've used enough of this phone to know that you can, and then allow me to show you why I think that is. With the design, you might think that the big design change that I'm going to talk about, which makes it this mass market device, is this cover screen. The fact that Samsung have expanded it all the way around the cameras and given it the most minimal borders that they've ever put on a Samsung phone. You might think that's it, but it's not. The change from the design standpoint that I think makes this more mass market ready is the one on the inside. Because Samsung, in what they've done this year, have actually made the flip wider this way, meaning that it's wider this way. So this inside display actually has a more natural smartphone ratio in 21:9 versus the previous one of 22.9:9, which made it really thin and long. Now it's a bit wider and a bit more traditional. They've expanded the height as well. It's a 6.9-inch screen now versus 6.7, but that extra bit of width on the inside gives it more comfort when you are typing and using it like a smartphone. So what that means is if you're switching from a normal phone, so if you're coming from a normal traditional bar style phone, you'll feel more at home here when it's open. And of course, you get the flexibility of the bigger cover display with 120 hertz now, much brighter as well, so it can be used outdoors. All of it fits a lot better and makes it a lot more natural to use if you're coming from traditional phones. That's what's great with the Flip, is you get that duality. You get that convenience of this cover screen where you can play games, you can access apps through like good lock modules, you can respond to notifications, or you have the full smartphone experience on the inside. You get both. I did a full video on everything you can do with the cover screen on the Flip 7. There is one thing I forgot to mention though, and that is the use of Gemini. Samsung have enabled sort of Gemini usage right from the cover screen. So if you press and hold this cover screen here, Gemini comes up straight away and you can start to interact.
What device you are referring to?
I was talking about the Flip 7.
Yes. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 has a cover screen. The cover screen, referred to as the Flex window, is a key feature of the device. It has a larger and more functional display compared to previous
That's enough. So you get my point, is you can now interact with Gemini directly from the cover screen without needing to unflip the phone. Nice. But you don't just buy phones off design changes. You want to know what else sort of the phone is like to use. And with the Flip, the camera experience is one of the biggest parts of the selling point that it has. You don't buy a Flip because you want the best camera hardware. The 50 megapixel main camera is from the S25 base model, and the 12 megapixel ultra wide is the same. They're not Samsung's best camera offering, even though you're paying, I guess, a premium price point for the phone. The camera hardware is not as what you would get on like a Fold 7 or an Ultra. It's just not. But the output's fine. Like this has got the Exynos 2500 chip, and the processing on Exynos I actually kind of prefer, and it does okay. Camera samples that you're seeing now, you've got good dynamic range, you've got good color control. I think it is a perfectly acceptable output, and in some cases, exceptional output. So there's no real issues from an output standpoint on this phone. But the Flip isn't about the output that you get. It's the way you can get it. Because of the form factor and the different variations that it can be sort of put up in, it's just fun to use. When you've got it closed, you've got the flexibility, and this is an absolutely pun intended video, to be able to capture it high quality selfies with the screen that's on the front there. Because the cameras are pointing at you, you've got the preview right there. Double press on the power button when it's closed, and you can immediately launch the camera. You've got photos, which you can tinker with the settings. You've got video mode, and you've got portrait photos that you can capture. And I really like it for video because you've got a walking and talking vlog phone ready for you, whether you want to capture your selfies with someone else in it, or whether you just want to talk to camera. Having the Flip and just being able to just sort of turn the camera on. This is the Flip 7 now. This is full HD, so this is not going to be the highest quality, but that's because the aspect ratio has been changed so I can actually film it in sort of nice vertical orientation, but still have landscape. You can change that though. Allow me to show the difference. Just by rotating the phone and changing the aspect ratio to 9:16, and then it flips it to 16:9, I can now film in 4K 30 from the back here using the main camera, and it gives me high quality video. It's the best. You can access the rear cameras, like the ultra wide. It's just a really fun experience, as you saw. And then you can also slightly flex it up to like this level with the camera open on the front, and then get access to things like auto zoom. So when it's on a table, it'll actually zoom in and out depending on what is happening in the frame. Of course, as it can be a smartphone, you can take photos in this normal orientation. That can happen. But where's the fun in showing that? Because every smartphone can do that. We don't need to show that off. What you want to know is how it can work like this. Flex mode, honestly, Samsung's best thing they've created. When it came out with the Flip 1 original, I was amazed at this. And I loved the options that I could see Samsung heading down as more and more flips and folds came out. And now we're there. And it's just phenomenal to have. If this wasn't a smartphone, or if I wasn't in the smartphone game, but I still was doing YouTube, I would get this just as a camera, just to keep it in my bag or in my pocket, just so I have this to take with me to capture content uniquely. Wherever you've got a flat surface, you've got a tripod because of this. Because of the fact it can flex in that half-folded state, I put it down on the table, and like I said, with the rejigging of software, you can get some really, really good content out of this phone. And then when you add in log video on the Flip 7, you now have extra capability to tune the content to what you want as well. What's also amazing is the fact that you can activate that cover screen preview in flex mode, where you can actually see yourself as you're recording. So if you wanted to record some talking head and wanted to see what you were looking at and put yourself in the frame, you can. It's great for that. I'm almost selling myself the phone so I can use it more because it's just that good. That is why you buy a Flip. Yes, you compromise on getting access to that third telephoto camera, but you don't really need to worry about that when it can do so much else around it. But then I guess you've got to talk and address the elephant in the room, and that's the processor. Samsung this year, I guess in a cost-saving measure with cost of living and everything going up, they wanted to reduce how much this phone increased by. Exynos 2500. The dirty word in the Samsung world, at least if you are sort of a Samsung loyalist, you look at that word Exynos and immediately you're like, no. Here's the thing though. You say that word to literally anyone else in the space of smartphone usage, and they're going to shrug their shoulders at you and not understand what you're talking about. It means nothing to anyone what processor is in their phone. If you're switching from an iPhone, that word Exynos means zero. Because in every situation that you would use a smartphone, this phone handles it well. There's absolutely no performance issues whatsoever that I've found from the Flip 7, either using Samsung DeX on my monitor behind me, either capturing video, capturing photos, or just using it like a phone. I've had zero complaints out of performance. The performance will meet the demands of the majority of smartphone users, like 95%. It's a number I use a lot. But the good thing is that performance also can meet the demands of the 5% that need a bit more because it's capable. It's a flagship SoC in a 2025 smartphone. I already showed you in a video how it supports DeX, but you've also got all of the Galaxy AI on-device features like instant audio eraser or just audio eraser in general, or things like video exporting through log video. It can handle it just fine, better than fine. But performance isn't just about the chip that's on here. It also extends out into the other components like the battery. Samsung, and I guess through expanding the physical footprint, making it wider and a little bit taller, have been able to put a bigger battery in here. You've got 4,300 milliamp hours of total capacity in the Flip 7 compared to 4,000 upgraded from the year before. Since Flip started, in a body that hasn't really grown in size too much, you've upgraded 1,000 milliamp hours in capacity from 3,300 on the original Flip to 4,300 now. You compare that to the Fold, where the Fold has gone from 4,380 to just 4,400. The Flip's very impressive in how it's been able to expand that capacity out and all the feature set around it. I haven't really used it enough as a daily phone to test that capacity. I just honestly can't stop using the Fold 7. It's so good, and it's more my speed. I like the traditional phone on the front and then having the tablet, especially for what I do. I know I probably should use a phone more before I review its battery life, but here we are. I could show you all the other sort of flip software stuff, like the fact that you've got flex mode for content consumption. Excellent. Again, some people will complain, and they have done in previous years, that top half of the display is too small. Why would you want to watch a video there? Because it's convenient. You don't always watch a video there. If you're on the couch, you can open it up properly. But if you're sitting at the table watching a movie or watching a YouTube video while eating breakfast, this is perfect for that. There's literally nothing else that you would need because it has its own tripod. And then when you need to, you open it up to get the bigger screen. Stop ranting. Or the fact you've got the app continuity from browsing apps on the cover screen and then immediately launching into them on the internal display. That's convenient. That's part of the experience. But I think you really need to understand the Flip from a top level, because that other stuff, the little touches, they're great. But honestly, you need to buy into the concept of the Flip first, and then you can buy into the other stuff afterwards. And I think for me, I like talking about the concept because I think that's the thing that you need to understand first. And then you can go watch my tutorial videos because I cover them as well. So, Z Flip 7, Samsung's best attempt at a flip, the one that I think can be adopted more mass market than any other flip that Samsung have made. And one that I think if you like the sound of all of that, you can jump right in with absolutely no compromises in 2025. But it's still not for me. That's where I'm at. Anyways, hit subscribe to me, Tech with Benefits, and also come find me on all my socials. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You!